Thank you, everybody, for making it out tonight. I'm just gonna get into it. I don't know, have you guys ever, donated clothes to Buffalo Exchange? Aren't they the meanest people you've ever met? Like, every time I bring in my nicest, I'll come out with my nicest stuff, and I'm just like, what can you guys do with this? And they're like, we can throw it in the trash for you.
This is from H&M and Zara, all right? This is high-end Chinese shit, so...
It's hard to make a living now. Prices are out of hand. The world is getting crazy. It's a have or have not land. But you can make it happen. You can take a stand. Money's all around. You can make it. All you have to do is just get naked. You'll show your butthole for cash.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sarah Tollemache.
Thanks, everybody. All right, let's hear it for Grove 34th. This place just is so special to me because it's 2 blocks away from where I live. I just don't like working hard. So I'm having kind of a weird day. I'm wearing a mint infused panty liner right now. I didn't know it was mint infused until I put it on. I didn't know we were changing the game. And then all of a sudden I was like, why is my pussy cold all of a sudden? Like, it feels like my vagina's been smoking menthol cigarettes. I didn't know Newports made panty liners. So I am wearing the hundreds, so it's pretty wild. No, I'm just trying to be feminine. And I've been wearing the same sports bra for the last 5 days because I don't know how to get out of it. They're so intense. There's like no buttons or clasps on them anymore. Like, I just have to like dislocate my shoulders in order to get my tits out at night. Or sometimes I just do Thunderbolt and then just like rub my back against the wall. I'm like, it's just hot. You guys like this? It's hard to be sexy. One thing that's really sexy about me is that no one ever says that. That's how I'm like on dates. I'm like, one thing that's really sexy about me is no, my AirPods keep falling out of my ear holes because they're so tight. Just like, ow. These are so big for my little ear holes. Like, they're so tight. Like, I can't even hear what you guys are saying right now because they're so fucking tight. And wet. They're so wet. The wettest ear holes. Anyway, I'm just being silly. They're not. They are tight, though. No, I do. So I do live with mental illness. I've been married to him for about 4 years now. I know. Here's my story. So brave. No, my husband he does have OCD. He has the kind of obsessive compulsive disorder where he thinks he's dying all the time. I know, I wanted the kind where you clean all the time. You never get the OCD that you want. You're like, it's so annoying, you know? No, it's just like, you know, he gets a lot of sicknesses. Like, his new sickness right now is acid reflux. You know, and he was telling me the other day, he was like, did you know that 200,000 people suffer in silence from this? I was like, could you also suffer in silence? Oh my God, I'm trying to have fun. don't know, I feel like those people are heroes, actually. I wish more people suffered in silence. I just think there's too much suffering out loud going on these days. And want it bottled up, until it's serious. It's just like one time, because I got food poisoning, and then he thought he was also getting food poisoning. So I was like, can you just let me have my own diarrhea, please? All right, this is my time to shine. All right? Don't take away my diarrhea thunder. No, it sounds like I'm shitting on him. Because I am, because it's my art. But no, I can be just as annoying. Like, this is my new annoying trait. I don't know why I do this, but I like to set my husband up with boring stories at a hang. I'll just be like, oh my God, honey, tell him about that time when you couldn't find the FedEx slot. He's like, what are you doing to me right now? I'm like, I don't know, you shared it with me this morning and it was so riveting. But I was like, you should definitely share this with your guy friends tonight. That's what happens when you grow old with somebody, is you run out of cool stories to share with each other, and then your stories have no plot points or character development. And you're just like, I just have to say this out loud or I'll die. You're my diary now, that's what you are. No, he's fine. He's good. He's nice. For my birthday, he got me a Groupon to remove my moles, so that was really special. Do you guys have that relationship? I did ask for it. He's not a complete monster. Groupon is our healthcare provider. Do you guys have Groupon? It's a good service. It's nice. No, we did get insurance this year, though. Do you guys have insurance? Is this a cool? Do you know how it works? Like, I don't get it. It feels like extortion is happening, and we're just collectively doing this together. I don't even know if our insurance company is real. It's called Oscar Health. Have you guys ever heard of it? Yeah. My doctors haven't either. Every time I go to the doctor, they're like, who is that? I'm like, I don't know. I think I'm just supporting some Hispanic guy in the city right now. We've just been paying his rent for the full year. Living the best life. Like, he's funny though. He's a great graphic designer, Oscar. I shouldn't have gone with a company called Oscar. He'll send adjustment. He'll be like, oh, I made some adjustments, and then he's like, you have to pay for the full bill now. He's like, I think I might go to Europe. I'm like, all right, have fun. It's fun that you get to do that. I have depression. Do you guys have depression? Cool. Some of y'all sounded like bipolar, but whatever. It's like a spike. I'd kill for bipolar. Oh my God. To know what that spike feels like? God, to live in euphoria for about a week. I'd love that. I'm just like a plateau of sadness. I don't know. If you don't know what depression feels like, though, the best way I can describe it is, have you ever been to a Starbucks that's inside of a Target? That's depression. I don't know what they're doing in there, but they've created an immersive experience of the purest sadness you'll ever feel. I'm like, what is happening here? Also, how annoying is it when you Google where's the nearest Starbucks and then you pull into a Target parking lot? I just want to drive my car straight into that Target. Like, they're much better. I have a new defense mechanism when I get depressed. You guys can do this. Like, whenever I get sad, I like to apply to online colleges. Because they accept anybody. And it feels so good to get that acceptance email. I got accepted to Southern New Hampshire University. Thank you. I know. I can't go, though, because I also joined the Army, so I have a full plate this semester. A lot going on. Here's something depressing that I just did. That's my comedy. This is sad. Do you guys, do you like sad stuff? Is it funny? No, I just did an escape room in upstate New York. Isn't that depressing? I'm like, why is this business here? Also, isn't this town the escape room? Like, how the fuck do I get out of here? They're like, I don't know. We've been here for 20 years and never got a clue. I hate doing escape rooms. I used to do them sometimes for work. It's like a team building exercise. It's the worst, because I always just find out I have no leadership skills whatsoever. And then I just turn into QAnon when I'm in the escape room. Like everything turns into a clue to me. I'm like, oh, what is this? I think this could be something right here. They're like, we're still in the lobby, you idiot. You're just fiddling with the AC unit. Like, I don't want to be here. No, I want to bring a gun into an escape room. Just hold someone hostage. And be like, if you don't let me out, I'll blow his goddamn brains out. And I think that shows leadership skills. They're like, wow, she really took the reins on that one. She got them out fast, I can only do that bit when there's not a mass shooting, so that is a seasonal bit. So, welcome to America. No, that was dark. I'm sorry. This will cheer you up. I just saw that the 2 girls, 1 cup woman turned 40 this year. That video is old. Did you guys feel old? It came out in 2004. I'm just kidding. They're dead. I mean, I'm assuming so. I'm like, where do you go from there, It's not like, oh, you made that video, and then you're like, oh, everything went well afterwards. No, all this is mine. If you don't know what that video is, just look it up when you get to work tomorrow. It's a class. Full volume, because there's no captions. I like how we all know what that video is. It's pretty self-explanatory. I don't know. Have you guys ever thought that you were rich and then realized that you forgot to pay rent? Have you ever done that? That move in New York? Where you're just like, why do I have thousands of dollars in my account right now? And then you're like, oh yeah, I owe a Greek guy that wears tank tops all year round. Several $1,000s in cash. I'm like, oh, that's fun. Wait, for a moment, I thought I could play the stock market. And you're like, no, you have to live. That's what you have to do. No, I have been playing the stock market. Are you guys doing the stock market? No. I don't know what I'm doing. I just get on Robinhood and I just fucking buy stocks, I didn't know it was that easy. They just let any idiot on there. I just buy stocks that I can afford, like the $1.50 ones. I do no research. I showed my brother my portfolio and he was like, Sarah, you're just supporting warlords in third world countries right now. I'm like, I know, aren't I powerful? Like, I've never had so much power in my entire life. Those are my warlords. No, the other reason why I started doing the stock market is because beforehand I was doing a savings account, and when you're poor or broke, like, I don't even know why banks offer it. It's embarrassing. They'll be like, oh yeah, if you just give us $500 and then at a 0.05% interest rate, you can make $5 extra at the end of the year. I'm like, I could just find $5 on the street when I leave here tonight. Like New York has more passive income on the floor of a bar than it does in a national savings account. It's so embarrassing. But the other reason why I did the stock market is because in a savings account, your money just like plateaus. It's so boring. But in the stock market, it's going up and then it's going down, and it's doing that all throughout the day, that you're just like, oh my God, look how much fun my money is having in there. And had more fun than I did today. I was like, you were all over the place. You were on the news, dude. Like, that is fucking cool. That is so cool. No, I just want you guys to be financially literate. Like, you know. No, here's like a story of how I used to make money when I was in my early 20s. This is gonna be like a weird left turn. So I was a stripper for a brief moment in my 20s. I wasn't good at it. This was the energy that I brought to it. I didn't even have a dress. I just wore my prom dress. It was the saddest thing ever. Like, it's really hard. I thought it would be really easy to make a lot of money showing my tits, but like, you actually have to be an amazing salesperson, and I just didn't believe in the product that I was pushing. I just couldn't. First of all, it was on the floor. I was in a blackout the whole time. But what I would do is I'd hang out in the locker room doing drugs, and then some of the more successful strippers would come in and some of their money would fly out of their G-string. And that was my passive income for the evening. So, you know, just work smarter, not harder. No. But it's hard. New York's really expensive. Like, I had to, I recently donated clothes to Buffalo Exchange. Have you guys ever done that before? Okay, aren't they the meanest people you've ever met in your entire life? Like, they're like on a vengeance. It's so, they hurt my feelings every time I go in there. I'll come in with my nicest stuff, and I'm just like, what can you guys do with this? And they're like, we can throw it in the trash for you. This is from H&M and Zara, all right? This is high-end Chinese shit, so just don't wash it. It will fall apart. No, I get so mad when I shop there because I'll see clothes that made it through that I don't think were nearly as good as my clothes, that I just get confrontational with the store clerk. I'm like holding up jeans with a ribbon stitch on the side and bedazzled jean pockets, and I'm just like, how the fuck did these pants make it in? And not my pants. Like, who do I need to blow to get my pants into Buffalo Exchange? So rude. That's all I care about is just getting my pants into that store. It's like private school, but for poor people. Like, I have to get my pants into Buffalo Exchange. It's so important to me. I was shopping at CVS or Walgreens. Have you been there lately? Like, wild. They lock everything up behind a glass case now. I feel like I'm shopping at Tiffany's when I walk in. I'm just like, I'd like to take a look at the deodorants today. Just had my eye on that degree for a while now, and managed to save up a few dollars and I'd like to see it on, you know. It's so embarrassing. And then you have to ring that deodorant doorbell too. You're like, hi. Can I make a $6 thing a bigger ordeal than it needs to be, please? My God, it just makes me shop at Amazon, and then I feel bad because I'm just putting out, you know, mom and pop stores like CVS and Walgreens. Those poor guys. No, everything's crazy. Like this was crazy to me. I saw that the Cash Me Outside girl made $52 million on OnlyFans this year. Did you guys see? What are we doing? Like, why are we going to college or working hard when we can just show our asshole online to strangers? Like, that's actually like, is that really demeaning at that point if you're making $52 million? Like, I feel like if you're not showing your butthole online to strangers, then you're really just leaving cash on the table at this point. Like, if I was a financial advisor, that is exactly what I would tell my clients. I'd be like, you need to start spreading your ass cheeks immediately if you want to get out of bankruptcy. Like, and you can go to Starbucks every day. Isn't that cool? I can't believe you can just show your butthole for $52 million. Like, I think that's less demeaning than doing stand-up, honestly. Though, it's weird. $52 million, that's an insane amount of money. Like, I do believe she's smart enough to do this. That can turn into generational wealth. Isn't that crazy? So it means in the future, we're gonna have trust fund babies that are from butthole money. Like, every university is just gonna be butthole money trust fund kids walking around. You're gonna be at NYU, you're gonna be like, you see that girl over there? She's from old butthole money. Just a long lineage of butt spreaders. You're like, I'm gonna try to marry into that. I'm like, that's a really good choice for you. It's so crazy. She spoke at the Oxford School of Business. What are they? They must be out of ideas to make money. Like, what could she possibly be telling them? Like, oh yeah, you just kind of like bend over like this, and you don't want to get your asshole too close to the screen or it'll go out of focus. And then all the money goes in your account, and then you invest it in property. So I don't know. I mean, aren't we all just spreading our ass cheeks open anyway when you go to work? You might as well do it for yourself, right, guys? That's so crazy. Sorry, I'm taking a break. I'm out of breath. Anyways. I want to drink water, but I always freak out when I drink water because I have to do it like this. And then I'm like, oh my God, are they watching me? And then I'm like, I've been doing it for so long. I'm freaking out. All right, that wasn't so bad. Anyways, so I was watching, you guys have seen Love on the Spectrum. It's been on for a while, right? Yeah, it's a great show. It's, if you don't know what it is, it's about people with autism, and it's about them dating, and it's set in Australia. So I just thought it was how Australians date for a while. It came in a little late. I didn't know there was an autism part to it. I was like, wow, they don't really fuck around down under. Like, they really get to the point. So wild to me. There's part of me that was jealous. I'm gonna lose you on this, but then hopefully gain. There's part of me that was like, God, I wish I had autism. I know, stay with me. They just have traits that I admire. Like, I just love when they're on a date, like a first date, and they're not enjoying themselves. They'll just be like, I'm not having any fun, I'd like to leave. no idea we could do that. And none. Like, I would just date a guy forever and then get married to them and then be like, I don't know, how am I supposed to get out of this? Like, I just don't have that. Like, I don't like confrontation. Like, one guy was telling me that in order to do stand-up, you need to have a lot of confidence. And I was like, watch this. I'm gonna make it weird. I have a new tic. It's so annoying. Sometimes I accidentally swallow while I'm talking. Like, kind of right now. It's annoying because it makes you sound more emotional than you really are. Like, I gave a coffee order this morning, and I was like, can I get a tall latte? They were like, are you okay? I had to play it off. I was like, oh, yeah, I was molested. It's just coming up now for me. Order just jogged a memory, sorry. I think I might be a narcissist. Are there any narcissists in here? No? Okay. Usually it takes 10 years to find out, I guess. I only think that because, like, I was at a restaurant with friends, and the waitress took her order, and then she came back out, like, 30 seconds later from the kitchen, and then she came up to me, and she's like, I'm so sorry, but I did not catch your order. But in my mind, I thought she had said, I am so sorry, I did not catch your name. So in my idiot brain, I thought she had taken her order, gone back to the kitchen, and was like, I just had the most amazing experience out there when I took that lady's quesadilla order that I must catch her name. And then I responded as if this always happens to me. That I was like, it's Sarah. She's like, no, what's your order? I'm like, do you want to just get out of here? Like, so embarrassing. And that's the end of that story. I don't know how to end stories. That's a short one. So stupid. But no, yeah, I am trying to improve, though. Like, oh my God, this is gonna be a hard one. Like, I'm having a hard time letting go of the word retarded. Anybody else? Like, that's a bad word. We shouldn't be saying that. N-word was really easy. Like, that was, I'm like, why am I saying that? I was like, that's crazy. That took a week. It's just muscle memory on that one, so that's weird. That's a risk. Because some people are like, I think she does say it. No, it is crazy. Times are weird. No, but I am tired of fighting the patriarchy, though. You know, even though I haven't done anything, but I'm like tired. I feel like I've done stuff, but I tweeted a few times. You know, I did the Women's March. Did you guys do the Women's March? Okay, one sad person. I know, I'm like, did we win? I have no idea. In fact, I think they took more rights away from us. I was like, got it, I won't walk, that's fine. I wanted to stay home anyway. If I knew you were gonna take our rights away, I would have just stayed at home, you know? But, like, it is weird being a female comic because you get a lot of hate online. Or maybe I'm not funny. It must be misogyny. I don't mind, though, because it pushes me up the algorithm. So, like, if you guys hate this, don't tell me to my face. Just write a long paragraph on my YouTube channel. That would really help me out a whole bunch. It's so great, but usually you get, like, when a video is doing really well, all of a sudden I get an army of men telling me I'm not funny, that I'm like, oh, I've arrived. Like, keep going. But one time I got, like, usually it's women aren't funny, and then this one time this lady came in and I was like, oh, thank you. And then she replied to that comment and she was like, yes, this woman isn't funny. But you can't say all women aren't funny. I was like, what kind of feminism is this? This is unusual. And then I looked at her account, and she is doing better than I am. That I was like, I hope she dies in a fire. And that's my feminism. No, I don't know if you guys know this, but now when you do stand-up, you also have to be a film editor. Did you guys? It's like, that's all this is not a special. I'm just gonna cut this up and and commodify it. It's so all I do now is just edit hours of video of myself every day that now I want to leave nasty comments on my YouTube channel. I've never hated myself so much. I'm just joining on the hate where I'm like, you should kill yourself. They're like, can we flag this? This is from the creator. I've never seen this before. I don't know how to handle this situation. So I was just in Montana recently, and I saw these pro-life protesters outside of an abortion clinic, and I was like, oh, thank God, because it just helped me find the clinic faster. They're so hard to find. They're like speakeasies. There's no big signs anywhere. They're always off on a weird street. Those guys are like blow-up dolls at a used car lot. They're like, we're here. I'm like, thank you for your service. No, anytime I see pro-life protesters, I want to just like stand next to them and just be like, is this where the line starts? And they love that bit. They have the best sense of humor. Guys they're so cool. No, are you guys pro-life or pro-choice? I should have asked it up front. No. If you're pro-life, I would have changed my whole set. You should see me in Texas. Totally different. No, I want to dress up like a pro-life protester, though, and then just hang outside random businesses where people are like, wait, they do abortions at Verizon Wireless? I'm like, yeah, they know. I was doing shows in Ohio when Roe v. Wade got overturned to states' rights, and I didn't have any material. I'm not that fast. And but then the next day I woke up to my Twitter account. This lady had tweeted at me, and she was like, I was at your show last night, and I was so upset that you had nothing to say about what's going on with women's bodies right now. And I was just kind of like, my set, my choice. How dare you tell me what to put in my material? Also, was I gonna do pro-abortion jokes at a place called Go Bananas? I was already eating it for the whole week. Like, oh yeah, let's add that fun topic to a state that's 50-50. That's a fun gambling move to play. So I know a lot of comics joke about abortion. It's not funny, but you know what? The only thing that is funny about abortion is that it kind of tickles. A lot of people don't talk about that part, but it's excruciating ticklish. So I am pregnant. No, I'm gonna keep it, and I know, it's so late. I kept meaning to go. I was like, next Saturday. Just didn't have the time. This is like a long walk. I was like a mile away, and I could do it. No, I don't like mentioning that I am pregnant in my set. I prefer for you guys to be like, what's going on with her body? Like that. That's weird. Is that gastro? Like, what is that? So, I also, that's why I'm doing all this dark material. because I feel like I don't know where I'll be in a few months. So might as well just go for it. But yeah, we did egg donor, IUD, or no, not IUD. I don't know how sex works. I did have an IUD in, and then we tried natural first, so I took out the IUD, and that was covered in jizz. So much jizz. Been there for a long time. Kind of like when you take a pool filter out, it's just got leaves and baby frogs, and I like that joke, so I'm probably gonna keep it. Yeah. No, but we did egg donor because we decided to start a family when I was 42. We're like, I'm ready. So we did egg donor, which is weird because so I had to go on these egg donor sites. This is really relatable material. Have you guys ever bought human eggs for $20,000? That's so you, Deb. No, but you have to go on these egg donor sites and you can just go on there. Like, you don't even need to start a username or password. Like, you can just go and look at egg donors like it's Zillow or something. But when they only show you the photo of the donor when they're a toddler. So I just felt like I was on a sex trafficking website the whole time. I was like, I really like her. She's really tiny and cute. Yeah, so yeah, now we're 2 weeks away. I was hoping I would go into labor really early on in the set so I wouldn't have to complete. I'm like, oh no, I have to go to the hospital. No, so yeah, this is why I'm doing all this material. And no, it's annoying. This is something annoying. I have an annoying friend that has long COVID right now. I'm not saying that long COVID doesn't exist, but I am saying when your one friend is like, I have long COVID, you're like, of course you'd have long COVID. Never the easygoing person. You're like, okay. Their symptoms are always vague. They're always like, yeah, now when I wake up, I'm like tired. I'm like, okay. And then occasionally I get light diarrhea that I'm like, all right, I thought that was just called life. Like, it's just being an adult. I thought we were all walking around tired with light diarrhea. I know I am. No. No. This is the jizz-heavy set portion of my material. It's actually quite alarming how much jizz jokes I have. But you know, when God speaks through you, he just gives you a gift, and who am I to deny that? You know, I don't know. I do a lot of shows. Sometimes I do the road with my husband, and it's weird. We were in Hartford, Connecticut, because we're killing it. Yeah. I don't know. Have you guys ever been to Hartford, Connecticut? It's a great place to kill yourself, and we went to the mall. I'm like, do you guys need my help? Like, all the clothes were unfolded everywhere. I'm like, this is insanity. But every now, like, after the show, we got propositioned to do, I guess, an orgy. It was through another couple. Like, how many is it? What's the number in orgy? Oh, okay, thank you. Slut. 5. You guys get that? So this couple asked us to go home with them. First of all, what part of my set is like, yeah, that girl likes to fuck? Like, not it, not too much. Just the right amount, twice a week. No, but they were in a blackout mainly. I guess that's how you do an orgy, I guess, or force. Is it a foursome that feels so? Yeah, group sex. Okay. Wow. That doesn't really feel like you're from Astoria. That's like Brooklyn energy. How did you get here? That makes no sense. No, thank you for coming all that way. And no, but I was like, how good could an orgy or a foursome be in Hartford, Connecticut? Like, we just pictured the guy just like passed out on the bed the whole time, and then our ongoing joke is that we called him Brett because he had a goatee. He just seemed like a Brett, but our joke was like where we have to wake Brett up. We'd be like, hey Brett, fucking wake up. It's time for you to suck Joe's dick. We've all been sucking his dick all night. It's your turn. And he's like, huh? Where's the dick? So embarrassing. Not worth it. But now we know where we stand sexually. We are a foursome in Hartford, Connecticut. Hot. No, I'm not very adventurous sexually. Okay, so I guess it was my turn to carry the lube through the airport. That happens in relationships. I don't know. Usually he carries the lube because he's a gentleman, but I had to do it this time. I was meeting him at a location, not to have sex. I don't know why I need to get into that details. I don't know. Do you guys have lube? No. You guys are like, no, our pussies are wet. I know your pussy is wet. We're like, well, I don't. I have a dry pussy. And so I have to carry lube. And I was really worried about getting stopped by TSA. And he was like, no, I never get stopped. And so, of course, I got stopped. And then they pulled out the Astroglide, and the lady was like, what do you want to do with this? I know. So I just drank it, and it wasn't bad. So now food goes down really easily. So that's a plus. It's good. I know. I would be open, though, if my husband got one of those high-end sex dolls. Have you guys seen those? Like, they're so good. Look, like, they're good. They're like Furbies you can fuck. Like, they have algorithms and stuff like that. Like, sorry, this is getting weird. But I would be cool with that because I could outsource a lot of work that I don't feel like doing. But the one problem I do foresee in the future is that like he wouldn't take care of it that well. Like, you know, because guys are really bad at taking care of stuff that I just feel like I would pick up on his energy in the apartment where I'm like, why are you so upset? And he's like, my doll's not working. And then I have to be like, well, did you change out the jizz trap? Like, you guys have to change out the jizz trap. Like, you can't. It needs to be changed out once a week. Did you not read the manual? I read the manual. And then I also am the tech person that I feel like I would be the one that like updates the sex doll's operating system the whole time, and that usually takes an hour. Where I could just see myself talking to her because she's like a good listener. And then I just fall in love with our sex doll, and then he's just fucking her. And I'm like, well, it's a good deal, you know. I should really think that bit more out before I put it in my special. I'm gonna keep it in there though, because this is YouTube. Who cares? They probably stopped watching at 20 minutes. Analytics. I did read this one article recently it's one of those articles on Twitter and you're like, well, that's weird. Scroll by. Where a guy got arrested for jerking off into the food at the restaurant that he worked at. That kind of stuff happens like once a year in the world. But here's the thing. Who is calling that out in the restaurant? Do you know what I mean? Like, what an insane thing. I'd rather eat jizz than be the lady that's like, excuse me, can I talk to you for a second? I think somebody ejaculated all onto my salad. What a wild thing to throw out. I'm pretty sure that's jizz everywhere. And they're like, ma'am, that's just blue cheese dressing. I'm like, my bad. Now I'm embarrassed. It's so embarrassing. This is gonna be my dismantle, or my... I'm about to detonate. I can't think of words right now. So, like, do you remember, like, 10 years ago when guys were really into coming on our faces? Is that still happening? I remember when I first got single when I was, like, around 30, all of a sudden guys were into that. I guess it was in porn, so they thought, oh, I saw it in the movies that I can... I'm like, yeah, a lot of stuff happened in the movies that we're not doing in real life. Like, it's weird. But, you know, so I had one guy he wanted to try that. And I just was like, I wasn't into it because it meant cum on my face. Like, it's weird. I don't even like cum on my sheets. You know what I mean? Like, why would I want it on my face and then have to go around the room like that? But I didn't want to shame, so I was like, okay, we'll try it. But it didn't work out because this was the facial expression I made. I was like this, like... that he lost his boner. But then I was like, what was the other option? Like, get excited for it, where you're like, oh, I'm so excited to get cum in my eyes. Like, that's so weird. But I was like, why don't we just compromise? And why don't you just like jerk off into your hand and then just lightly dab it onto my face like a moisturizer. And then that's it. All right, I'm not having any fun. I'd like to get out of here. Thank you.